Hi, welcome to Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast 11/19/2013. This is the Man in Black. And, hey, I'm actually in black today. And, hold on just a second. Alright, I had to adjust the camera a little bit there. But, yes, this is Mayhem News Live, and I'm the Man in Black. Finally got over my stomach issues, and now, bless my son's little heart, he has an ear infection once again. Upper respiratory infection and sore throat, but he's getting better. He's on antibiotics. So I'm going to get started this week's show. Not many headlines that weren't repeated from last week, so you know, the show's going to be anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes as usual. So I will say something first. I know that Busting for Autism was the 16th and the 17th. And I send out a thank you to everyone that helped me retweet and, you know, helped me talk about it. I have a lot more respect for the people that were there helping, the people that were, you know, making it their business to show up and help out. We really appreciate that. I know Tana and everybody that helped out, you know, I think they really appreciated it. We did have some people that couldn't show up. You know, Goldust has his WWE contract kind of prevented that, and some other people, you know, had to do some changing. But they're going to be in Kentucky next year, and Mayhem News Live and Creations by Kim, which is my wife's crochet business, we're actually going to be vendors there. So as we get information on when it's going to be next year and everything, we'll start posting that information and start putting it out. It's going to be a 6-hour drive for us, but that's not too far. I couldn't make it to Texas. That's like a 15 hour drive. So Kentucky's a little closer. It's not very far away. I think my son will enjoy getting out, you know, the trip and getting out and everything. And but we're going to be there that next year. And my wife's going to bring some crocheted stuff that she's done, and you know, yeah, we're going to enjoy. You know, being there. We're going to focus everything on what's, you know, going to be there. So I think we're going to have fun. I kind of hate we couldn't go this year, but that's just too far away. It's like driving from where we came from before we moved to Wisconsin. So, all right, we're going to get into the headlines. Thursday TNA ratings were 0.96. That's up from the 0.87 from last week. The Wrestling Observer reports that Triple H and Stephanie are interested in having former WWE executive Shane McMahon make an appearance at WrestleMania 30. And I truly think, hold on, wait a minute. And then, you know, I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be good to see Shane O'Mac on TV again. You know, because, I mean, he's part of that family too, you know. And I'm kind of wondering if they do bring him in, will he be the antagonist toward the Authority? That would be kind of cool to see. But I know from last reports, him and Vince and them were not talking. So, you know, we really don't know what goes on behind the scenes when the camera's off. So there's a lot of things you don't know what's going on. So anyway, as reported by many others, and not only us, AJ collapsed in a match with Brie Bella during it was due to dehydration. This is why they were on the European trip. They are looking after her. I'm not sure if she had been sick or maybe she just forgot to, you know, those trips to back and forth across the pond. My daddy used to work in the North Sea, and he said if you don't drink a lot and you're sitting on a plane, you're there for 10, 14, anywhere from 10 to 14 hours. Depending on where you're going. He said if you don't drink, if you don't hydrate, if you don't make sure you eat something, he said it'll take a toll. And I think this is kind of good news, not only for, you know, and I give Hulk Hogan a lot of bullshit, but I think this is not only good for Hulk Hogan, but it's also good for TNA. Hulk Hogan stated on Twitter that he will not be returning to TNA. I figure what he's going to do, he'll probably show up in the WWE long enough to make his last hurrah, do this NWO thing, you know, because the NWO is going to be there and all this crap's going to be. I think it's a WrestleMania 30 set up, and we're just going to have to watch and see. I'm kind of excited about this. Let's see, WWE JoJo made her in-ring debut on the November 16th episode of Next. I'm not sure if that's when it's going to air, but I know this was the 16th. It was a Next NXT event in Sebring, Florida. Reports is that JoJo, who teamed with Eva Marie, looked awesome in the ring. Seen a couple of pictures of her doing some moves that would make Daniel Bryan proud. She did a kind of a bridge STF. It was really awesome. If she can do this, I kind of see why Eva Marie is so self-conscious. It says seems looks seems looks aren't all you need, Eva Marie, to be successful. Wrestling talent is too. Now, I don't truly believe that Eva Marie won't be a wrestling talent. I think she has the brawn and the tact to be that. But right now, her head is so big. Right now, it doesn't match. Like Natalia said it perfectly. She doesn't match her head doesn't match her wrestling talent. You know, it's fine to be pretty and be on maximum, but that has nothing to do. You know, the Bellas are that way, but the Bellas can actually wrestle. Okay, they know how. They're not like Kelly. They can actually bounce off the ropes. They can do drop kicks. They can jump off the. You know, I've seen them do some things that I didn't think a woman of their size could do, but I've seen it. And you know, even AJ Lee, as small as she is, that Black Widow move, some of the moves that she does. I mean, you can't just. But apparently, JoJo's hands was raised. She actually got the win. And apparently Eva stormed off. Now, the thing about this is you kind of wonder if it's part of storyline, because apparently this was not aired. I don't know if it's going to be on TV or not. If it was aired, then it was probably part of storyline. But if it's not, then she might actually be upset because JoJo actually showed her up. So it's going to be pretty. I think JoJo is going to be a firecracker. So we're going to see. Mickie James voiced her wish to return to WWE, and as a fan, we want to see her back in the WWE. She should have never left. She should have never been let go, because the fact is they let her go probably because of her weight. Of course, WWE is not going to admit to this, but I have a feeling that's what it was. And now that she's this big recording star, I think Mickie James should have never left. I enjoyed some of the things she did in TNA, but I don't think she should have left, especially since the bullshit that they fired her for and let her go. Yeah, she was late on the bus. Really? Why don't you just be honest and grow a set of balls, WWE, and tell her that you fight? You know why you're not going to do that? It's because she's going to sue the piss out of you. That's why. Say, hello, man. He said, I'm sick, y'all. I got the sniffles. Anyway, my son's sick, so he's starting to feel better, though. He's going back to school tomorrow. Okay. Before we get to the Raw notes, like I said, there weren't many headlines today. There was a lot of stuff that was mainly just claimed to be new stuff, but it was basically the same stuff I covered last week. I forgot something. Last week's Raw, Santino Marella teamed with Los Matadores, okay? He came out with horns on, for one thing, which I'm pretty sure Rey Mysterio was sitting at home going, hey, that's my boy. He came out with the horns, okay? And then when he pulled out the Cobra had horns too. I'm sorry. You cannot like Santino, and you cannot like his stuff and say, you can't say he's not a good in-ring performer, but his comedy stuff is golden, if not platinum. I'm sorry. And there's only one thing that I kind of wish would happen, and I'm not sure with Goldust's current storyline if it'll ever happen. But I think it would be very interesting to team Santino Marella up with Cody and Goldust. I know a lot of people say, well, he's just a comedy wrestler, but we know the guy can wrestle. He's got some moves in the ring. But to have him and Goldust in the same ring or on the same TV screen being funny would be interesting. But you got to give it to him. He's funny as hell, you know. But we're going to move on to the Raw notes. Of course, the Authority is back. Triple H and Stephanie open the show, talk about the people paying for last week's debacle. Maddox is the first one to feel that. He faces Orton in a no DQ match. This was pretty much a pee break for me, to be honest. The ref ends up stopping the match. Of course, Orton's going to win. Orton decimates him, and the rap match gets stopped by the referee. Big E's finally starting to see the results of his push, and there's a lot of people saying that he's boring. I've got one name for you. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan had a finishing move of a leg drop. Okay. Big E at least has some mic skills. You know. So, but Big E comes in and faces Axel and actually becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. It was an excellent match for Big E, with Axel showing a little, we have a new disease in the WWE, and it affects people that are used to be Heyman men or Heyman guys. Axel showed the first symptoms of Heyman withdrawal symptoms. I think he's just not as much without Paul Heyman sitting at the side. And I mean, who could you not say that about anybody? I mean, Paul Heyman brings so much to the person that he's working with. If Paul Heyman was 6'2", and was built like a brick shit house, there would be no Paul Heyman guys. Paul Heyman would probably be one of the best wrestlers they had if he had if he could actually wrestle. You know, if he could actually get in the ring and had the physique of like Ryback or Triple H with his mic skills, he would be like unstoppable. And Big Show faces takes on Ryback and actually gets up after a shell shock, which I'm not really surprised. It is just a sideways Samoan drop, but anyway, everybody acts like it's so devastating. But anyway, at least make it look, even at least the jackhammer looked halfway decent. So anyway, and then Ryback feels the WMD and also shows a little Heyman withdrawal symptom as well. Swagger comes out with Cesaro to defeat The Miz and Kofi. Pretty decent match, actually. Now, Vicky Guerrero ends up being punished for her part of the debacle last week. She ends up having to face AJ Lee, which she tries to fake faint, and they roll her out on a stretcher. She thinks she's going to the hospital, and then Stephanie realizes there's nothing wrong with her. They're going to take her out to the ring. And Vicky Guerrero, who, by the way, looks sexy as hell. I don't care what nobody says. And we know that Eddie is upstairs smiling because he's got to be proud of her. And I'd agree with Damien and David Hero. She is the top heel in the WWE. Nobody gets heel heat like anybody. Nobody. Even Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. They cannot get the same heel.
They can't play heel like
she gets so much heat, it's just pitiful. Excuse me. I'm sorry. She comes out. Well, of course, AJ gets a quick win with the Black Widow, but the stuff that goes on outside the ring with Tamina, and I have to give it to Tamina, you could tell she was biting her tongue nearly off, trying not to bust out laughing when Guerrero gets out of the ring, comes over there, leans on her, and actually grabs her hand, Tamina's hand, and fans herself. I couldn't have kept a straight face. I'm sorry. Tamina, you are a rock. And you have to give her credit for that. Her daddy would be proud. I'm sorry. That's just funny. But I'm pretty sure Eddie Guerrero is upstairs sitting on a cloud, smiling his face. from ear to ear saying, yeah, that's my woman. But, I'm like Goldust. That's a sexy woman. I don't care what you think. And King and all them can pick on her all they want, but that's a sexy woman. Ziggler faced Sandow in a Broadway brawl. I really don't understand why it was called a Broadway brawl when they were in Tennessee and supposed to be. Wouldn't it have been better to be called an Opry brawl? Would have made more sense. Anyway, it was an awesome match for both people. I mean, they made it really good. And Ziggler wins right after doing his tribute to Jeff Jarrett with the guitar smash. I guess you could say it was a tribute to the Honky Tonk Man too, but he didn't do he didn't do the shake, rattle, and roll. He did the Jeff Jarrett strut, and actually popped the guy over the head with a guitar. It was really good. Sandow sold the move. Gets the 3 count. Xavier Woods, who is from NXT, makes his Raw debut and teams with R-Truth. Excellent tag team. They couldn't have. The fact that he hollers right before he does his finishing move, "It's muffin time," which he's talking about his hair. He's got kind of a flowy afro. It's funny as hell. He says it's muffin time. They defeat 3MB, who was calling themselves the Rhinestone Cowboys, or I think maybe they're going to do something with. Yeah, the Union Jacks was a little, anyway. Had a big 6-man tag with Punk, Bryan, Cody, Goldust, versus the Shield and the Wyatts. Now, the face team, Punk, Bryan, Cody, Goldust, and Usos were all on the same page. Everybody was just rolling. The Wyatts and the Shield could not get along. But Punk comes up. He hits the GTS on Ambrose for the win. And then the Real Americans and some other folks come down and start beating on somebody. And Rey Mysterio comes in, does a double 619, and pretty much, it was great. It was a great Raw. The only drawback on Raw that I see was the Diva musical chairs crap. Really?
That bra and panties match was better.
Really? I mean, let's do a bra and panties match or something. I know you're PG, but musical chairs? Really? I mean, what the hell? I mean, here you are bringing in people like Tamina and stuff like that to build up the Divas division, and then here you are doing stupid shit. Stupid. Okay? Stupid. It was stupid, WWE. Dumb. I don't know. Maybe all that flying last week screwed your head up, Triple H, Stephanie. But musical chairs? Really? Musical chairs? Why don't you let? Now, are we going to see next week them sit around the table and play tiddlywinks? What? Are we going to say, we're going to have a backgammon match for Divas versus Divas? I mean, I don't know. That's worse than a dance-off. I mean, I just think that they had 10 minutes to kill, and it was like, what we're going to do? Oh, we'll just get all the Divas out there and do musical chairs. And anyway, that's pretty much our show information. I'm going to pop off some stuff about our sponsors. Now, Zach Pack Promotions is done with their Busting for Autism this year, but they're still doing other things to help out families that have family members with cancer. They're still doing stuff for kids with disabilities and kids with special needs, trying to help them and their families. They're doing a lot of stuff. If you can go to their webpage, that's www.zachpackpromotions.com. You can donate anytime, and you can also follow them on @ZPack Promotions on Twitter, and search for them at Zach Pack Promotions on Facebook. We're also doing, my next sponsor is Fight Disability Slurs. That's FightDisabilitySlurs.wordpress.com, and you can follow them on Twitter and at Fight. It's Fight, capital N, capital D, IS, capital SLURS on Twitter. So that's Fighting Disability Slurs on Twitter. And you can also search them on Facebook under Fight Disability Slurs. I want to thank Throttle, who has been so kind in giving us our theme song for this show. I really appreciate them. You can find their stuff, and the song that's on here is New Blood. You can find their stuff on Amazon, and you can also find their stuff on iTunes. They have a new album out called Razor Wire Finish Line. I also want to give out a shout to Blast 52, which is an Irish band. They got, pretty good, excellent music. I'm telling you. You can follow them at Blast 52 or at Blast 52 Drummer. Stephanie is their drummer, so that's her. And you can follow their stuff on the little thing at the end. I always put our sponsors and people we're talking about banner at the end. I'll have their little their Amazon and iTunes link that you can follow. They have a new EP called We Can Pretend, and that's coming out. That's out now, so you can download both. Also want to talk about Girls with Big Guns. They're a Call of Duty. They're just an affiliate of some people we met, and they're a Call of Duty clan. You can follow them on. You can actually type in Girls with Big Guns on Facebook, and no, it's not a porn site. They're actually gamers, all of them female. It's actually a cool clan. And then I want to thank Chance Prophet for letting us know about a young man called Gabe Lau. Him and his family are helping him fight childhood cancer, and he just needs your thoughts and prayers. I'm not going to give any kind of, link because they get inundated with stuff anyway. So just kind of mention his name in your prayers, and we appreciate it. Also, I want to give a real good shout out to the real Louisville Ghostbusters. They do a lot of stuff. They're the ones that have Ecto, and they have a car. They're trying to find out how to get a new engine for the car. So I'll have their, you can find them on Facebook. So if you want to tell them what we sent them, that's fine. But I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that's watching the show. And I'm gonna let Throttle take us out and finish up the song that you heard earlier. And we're gonna get out of here. All right, we will talk to y'all later. See you Thursday and Friday and Tuesday of next week.